everybody, my name's Asha. Welcome to my channel. I've got my ears on because I am going to do my foundation routine for you guys. This foundation routine is what I do daily. Sometimes if I'm not wearing makeup, of course I'm not going to put it on, but if I'm wearing makeup, this is what I do. It's a full coverage, long wearing, even finish, amazing makeup that just looks flawless all day. So I'll show you guys exactly how I do it. Of course, it's more of a satin, like demi-matte kind of satin finish. It's not really glowy or dewy, but then I add that with my setting spray and of course highlighters as well. Let's get straight into it. I hope you guys enjoy. So first of all, with my foundation routine, I make sure I'm wearing good skincare, so I make sure I'm cleansed and toned. I'm going to use some Advanced Night Repair. This stuff is amazing. It is by Estee Lauder. If you guys didn't know, I do work for Estee Lauder. I'm a counter manager in Lower Hutt in Wellington, so come and visit me if you live nearby. But basically, this stuff is the thing that changed my skin. You guys could go back to old videos before I worked for Estee Lauder and you could probably tell that I didn't have the best skin. I will admit I didn't film unless my skin was not breaking out, but there will be some scarring there, and now my skin is just in love with me. I did have a couple of breakouts quite recently, but that was because I moved house, and as you guys can probably imagine, moving house is very, very stressful. So you press that into your skin, so make sure you're using some kind of hydrating serum. Then I like to use some moisturizer. I'm using the Revitalizing Supreme today. This moisturizer tends to give me a dewier finish as well with my double wear foundation. So then I'm going to do my eyes, so I'm going to use Advanced Night Repair Eye Serum for some extra hydration. I put that under my eyes and around my brows. I even put a little bit on my lid because it's a serum, so it sinks in quite quickly. It doesn't leave my lids oily like other eye creams would. So some people might say I'm a bit rough around my eyes. In all honesty, I am. To kind of give my eyes a boost if they're really tired, I will definitely go in with some MAC, what's this called? Fast Response Eye Cream. It's really good for like quickly depuffing the eyes and making the eyes look pretty good within a few minutes. I'm using the size of a piece of rice for each eye. People tend to use too much eye cream, I think. I think eye cream should last you quite a while. And whatever you've got left, I do around my lips. So there are 3 different primers that I generally reach for with double wear foundation. So I go either, this one's really smashed up, it looks terrible, but this is the Autopilot Pre-Foundation Skin Primer by Napoleon. So I either go for that, and then I might go for the Smoothing Primer by Estee Lauder, especially if I'm feeling quite textured on my skin and I need a smoother texture, or if my line is really obvious, I'll go for the smoother. Or if I really, really want to be glowy, then I'll go for the Strobe Cream by MAC. And this is just the original, but you can get this in colors now. I'd suggest going to check that out because they're beautiful. Otherwise, if I'm feeling super, super dry and I need an SPF, then I'm going to use the Priming Moisture Balm with an SPF of 15 by Genuine Glow, again, Estee Lauder. So these are kind of the kind of products I would use. I generally don't choose to use a mattifying product just because I feel like it doesn't work as well with double wear, and also I do prefer a satin finish. Okay, so I've had to think about what primer I'm going to use. I'm going to use the Smoothing Primer. I haven't used it on my channel yet and I want you guys to see. But honestly, anything that's going to be really hydrating are the best. Otherwise, if you want a smoothing kind of primer, this is honestly the one that I can find that works really well double wear. I only use the size of AP, and I kind of massage it into my nose, over my cheeks, forehead, and around my mouth, and that's when I start to kind of massage it everywhere else. A little goes a long way because this stuff is so smooth that it just keeps gliding everywhere. Just before I put foundation on, I'm going to put some BLISTEX Intensive Repair on my lips because it's winter here and my lips are really dry. So now I'm going to put on some double wear foundation. This is by Estee Lauder. It is amazing. You guys need to go onto your closest Estee Lauder counter and ask for a sample if you have not tried this foundation yet. I know there's some people that just don't like it, it doesn't suit their skin, but in all honesty, if you haven't tried it, go and try it because it works for a majority of people that I've ever come across. I've come across a couple of people that say it's a little bit too dry on their skin, which is fair enough. Then they try double wear light and they're like, hallelujah, I found something else. So honestly, just give it a go and get color matched, and I can tell you right now that majority of you guys are gonna fall in love with it. So anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and put this on my face. This is in the shade Honey Bronze. I feel like I need to mix Honey Bronze with Spice Sand at the moment, but I've only got Honey Bronze here today, so that's fine. I'm gonna put that on, and the brush that I like to use is the Real Techniques Expert Face Brush. I feel like this brush is the best to use double wear with. That's how much I'm taking, Will. Can you see how liquid that is? Woo. And basically what I'm gonna do is work from the center and work out, dabbing with downward strokes. Blend that. So you can kind of see this color is just looking a little bit off, so that's what I was saying. I think I need to mix Spice Sand with it. Something is off about it. I don't think it's orange enough for me. Okay. And then I'm gonna do my forehead. Now my forehead is always gonna be darker than my face. It's just the way it is with my skin. I'm just kind of like, as you can see, I'm just kind of doing stroking movements. Just make sure this area is well blended. Okay, once I feel like that's completely blended, then I'm gonna go ahead and take my Beauty Blender or my Real Techniques sponge. I'm just gonna go wet this, forgot, whoops. Okay, so I'm gonna take a Beauty Blender or a sponge, whatever you prefer. This is from Real Techniques, and I'm just gonna go ahead and bounce this on top just to soften my makeup. So I personally don't like to use a Beauty Blender at the beginning because I find it tends to soak up a lot of my product. As you can see, this sponge is staying pretty clean, but it's pushing it into my skin and it's kind of taking my any excess product and actually making my skin look a bit more dewy and radiant. So this is the Genuine Glow Highlighting Cream for Eyes and Face in Gleam Glow number 1, which is like a beautiful gold. And then I'm using the LA Girl Pro Conceal in medium beige, and I'm just gonna kind of put them both under my eye and just make everything look amazing. So I do the concealer, I basically squeeze a bit out and pop that all the way under, kind of in a triangle shape. I like to do right here where my freckles, I've got extra freckles right on my nose there, and just a small amount on the top of my eyelid. And then I'm gonna take the Genuine Glow, taking a twist of that, and I'm gonna put that more on my cheekbones. Take quite a bit of this stuff. Probably gonna run out really soon. So now I'm gonna take this product as well above my brows, Cupid's bow, cheekbone. Okay, so I'm basically taking a setting brush by Real Techniques. I love these brushes. And I'm just kind of just dabbing over everything. I'm just gonna blend this all out, blend it over the eyelid. It's gonna be my base to my eyeshadow as well. Okay, so it's pretty well blended. Now I'm gonna take my Beauty Blender again and just go over that so everything is nice and blended. I'm calling it a Beauty Blender, I'm sorry. It's a Real Techniques face sponge, sorry. And now that it's pressed into my skin, you can see I look really glowy and dewy. What happens with my under eye area, because I've naturally got quite a bit of smile lines naturally, like if I zoom you guys in, see when I look up, you can see that creasing under there. Very normal for me. So if you've got eyes like mine, let it crease, take a little brush again and just soften it. I'm talking like really light dabs. Take the corner, do that ugly face that you've got to do, and that'll take any excess product off. And now straight away I need to go into some Perfecting Loose Powder by Estee Lauder in Translucent, and I'm using this nasty Beauty Blender, or really it's just a sponge, and it's dry, and I'm just going to go ahead and apply that under my eyes. It's going to look quite white at the beginning. Now we're going to do the top. So I like to set my concealer on the eyelid.
How weird, I just saw it. I literally hate when that happens. Don't you hate when that happens? You literally just saw your brush that you're looking for what you need and now it's out of sight.
Okay, I'm going to have to use a different brush, which is very weird to me. So I'm going to use the stippling brush by Sonia Kashuk. which is number 124. And I'm just gonna head and dust that away. What I do now is I take a little bit of the Perfecting Loose powder in medium, which is the same powder but in a color. And this has just a little bit of color in it, nothing crazy. So now I'm gonna use the powder brush by Real Techniques, and I'm gonna go ahead and dip that in and just press that over my skin. And this will darken up my foundation. But because it's quite a lightweight powder, it doesn't take away all my glow. And because Double Wear's quite full coverage, I don't need a full coverage powder. But if you like a good full coverage foundation, like full, then use the Double Wear powder foundation on top, and that seriously will give you such a full coverage. So that's the foundation done. Everything is all flawless, feels very, very smooth to touch, and it still kind of looks quite glowy. But of course I'm going to add bronzer, blusher, contour and highlight at the end. I tend to do that after I've done my eye makeup, my brows, my lips, because I want the colors to all match. So I'll show you guys how I do that in a minute. I'm gonna go ahead and do my eyebrows, my eye makeup and my lips, and I'll be back. So I'm back, I've done my eyes and my lips. Now I'm gonna go ahead and do some contouring and highlighting and all of that, and that will complete my face. So to finish off, I'm gonna use some Anastasia Beverly Hills Contour Kit. I'm gonna go ahead and use the banana powder underneath my eyes. And then I'm gonna take Fawn, which is the color just down here, and contour my cheekbones. Also my temples and my jawline. I also like to do down the sides of my nose and on the tip there, and sometimes even underneath my lip. And then I'm gonna take some Bronze Goddess by Estee Lauder, and I'm just kind of applying that on top, just to give my skin a lovely glow, just like that. Real easy. I don't use too much of this, just enough to make my skin nice and glowy. At the moment I'm wearing kind of peachy tones and like mermaid style kind of finish, so I'm using a blusher by Clinique called Aglow, which is super, super glowy, and I'm gonna use that on my cheeks. Honestly, my blusher just depends on my makeup, so I don't typically wear exactly the same blusher every day. Same with my highlight. My highlight's usually quite different too. But how pretty is that blusher? I love it. And then highlighter, I always go in with Bobbi Brown Bronze Glow. So I'll show you guys what that looks like because it is my ultimate favorite. And I'm gonna use my new Morphe 510 brush. I'm so glad I've got this. Literally, game changer for highlighting. I had no idea. Just a little bit down my nose, just a touch, you know. I'm just gonna finish off with some Set and Refresh Perfecting Makeup Mist by Estee Lauder. It smells so good. It's cucumber. I love it so much. Literally, I could bathe in it. So that is my face done. If you guys want to see the full tutorial on how to do this eye look and the lip look and everything, it will be linked down below as well. So yeah, that is the final look. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know if you have any questions down below, and all the products that I used are going to be down below as well. So I hope you have a lovely day or night wherever you are, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!